One of the things that makes me really happy in life is hummingbirds, and we have a few hummingbirds here in the woods. We don't have a ton, probably because we don't have a lot of flowers. I'm really hoping to attract more hummingbirds, and so I do have a feeder up, but because we have not very few right now, I wanted to talk about this a little bit because the best of intentions can unfortunately lead to hummingbird death if we don't do this correctly. My hummingbird feeder is almost empty, but you can see that there's some stuff that's gotten into it. And so I am going to wash that out thoroughly before I refill it. This is also a 1-quart capacity hummingbird feeder, but because I only have 3 hummingbirds that I've counted, I do not want to fill it all the way full. So I've actually been filling it with just 1 cup of solution at a time. That's really important because if the hummingbirds don't drink it in a timely manner, it can ferment, especially when the weather is warm. Fermented food does not equal happily drunk hummingbirds, unfortunately. Fermented food equals dead hummingbirds, so we want to avoid that, which is why I'm only filling it a little bit at a time so that I can make sure that they can drink it in just a couple days. I don't want to leave this around any longer than that. It's been just a couple days, so I'm going to take this down and refill it. And I like to empty it out outside because it's kind of sticky before I take it in. All right, my hummingbird feeder is squeaky clean, so now it's time to mix up the solution. Now everybody's got an opinion about this. I like a 1-to-4 ratio sugar to water, and so I have about a 1/4 cup of sugar in there, and I'm going to add hot water and mix it around. Adding hot water instead of cold water makes it a lot easier to dissolve the sugar, but hot water might be slightly uncomfortable on those little hummingbird tongues. So now you want to let it sit until it cools before you put it into the feeder and put it back up. All right, so now that it is cool, I've put the solution back in the feeder, and I'm going to turn it upside down, just like so. All the air rushes up. And by the time that's done happening, this is going to look like a really puny amount. But remember, that's okay, because what you're trying to do is keep this fresh long enough for the hummingbirds to drink it without making them sick. And there we are, back up on my very fancy hummingbird feeder hanger. I have it up that high off the ground so that our dog and goats don't get into it. Eventually I'll have a beautiful little shepherd's hook style hanger situation for it, but I'm not there yet. This works just fine. Hummingbirds are very happy.